All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more 428 Shibuya Scramble. My name is Raven from the Sky, and let's do this. Wait a second. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Yeah! Mirakara stopped and let out a cry of frustration. Daisuke Endo had asked him for a favor after their interview was done. He promised to tell the Wandering Angels that the dry ice machine they purchased was defective. Well, damn. That had completely slipped his mind. If you recall correctly, the issue was that when machine started making dry ice, it wouldn't stop. Once the machine started making dry ice, it wouldn't stop. If he ran back to the theater now, he'd lose about 10 minutes. Minorikara checked his wristwatch. The lone people would be coming by the editing office before too long. He needed to prove to them that next month's issue of 4-Star General Gossip was well underway, or else they'd refuse to wait any longer for repayment. And to do that, he needed to fill a minimum of 6 of the 12 remaining blank pages. He couldn't afford to waste even a single minute. This was an awkward position to be in. He needed to keep his promise to Endo, but he also needed to spend his time wisely. Bah, guess I don't have a choice. There was nothing he could do about having forgotten. He hurried on to the cafe. He agreed to take on responsibility. He headed back to the theater. If he hurried on to the cafe, I'm trying to think okay, Aichi was headed back to Dokenzaka. That's how we got the bad ending. But the machine, shoot. If we're heading back, wouldn't we run into Aichi? And back to let's see what happens if he goes back. He headed back to the theater. Let's see if then again, we might get the bad ending for him. When he got there, he flagged down the first guy to the dry ice machine. Hey, make sure you remember what I'm about to tell you, okay? The dry ice machine is broken. The man stared back at him blankly, but Minorikara just forged ahead. Got it? The dry ice machine is broken. It needs to go back to the electronics store. Make sure you let the folks in charge know. The obligation is met, and he hurried back to the cafe to get back to work on his copy. Along the way, he caught sight of the young couple run. Oh, shoot. It seemed like an odd pair. The girl looked prim and proper, while the boy struck him as a bit sluggish. In fact, the boy's clothing was very much in the style worn by street gangs. Maybe he'd know something about SOS. Hurrying across their path, and the car called out to the kid. Aye, crap. Into the cafe. Sorry, Endo. Sorry, alright. Just gonna have to let this one slide. I've got Toyama's life on the line here. He opened the door to the cafe with the practice of a regular. Well, the waitress only got that far before her face fell. You again? Hey, hurry up and get me a seat. She grinned wickedly. I'm terribly sorry, sir, but we're all full at the moment. He looked around. All the seats were indeed filled. As you can see, sir, really now? The waitress grin widened with triumph. Yes, sir. Fine, I'll just right here. Let me get some power. Jamming his power cable into a nearby outlet, Mirakara plunked himself right down on the floor and booted up his laptop. The waitress watched in dismay, then turned to stare vacantly up at the ceiling. Just do whatever you want, she muttered vaguely. You know, a person can only get away with being obnoxious for so long. Sooner or later, someone's likely to call the police. Minorikawa looked up from his work, startled to see burning hammer salesman standing over him. You're Mr. Nagashita. Thank you so much for stopping by earlier. Are you going to write your article here? Nagashita eyed Minorikawa's computer. Oh, that's the latest model, isn't it? Look, I got no time to talk right now. Minorikawa opened the file with his half-written copy. Oh, what's this? Chaos at Bogus Weight Loss Drink Sales Demo? Nagashita read the copy aloud. The organizer, Junichi Nagashita, didn't merely have a whiff of deceit about him. His breath also stunk. Sound good? Minorikawa asked. I want to make sure I gave an accurate impression. Oh, I love what you've done with it. This is a great copy. Fantastic. Nagashita turned to look at him with a manic grin. Yeah, isn't it? In a flash, Nagashita's face went from grinning to livid. Like hell it is. You think I'm just gonna let you write something like that? Oh, God. Snatching up the computer, Nagashita bolted out of the cafe. Hey, get back here. Minorikawa leapt to his feet and rushed off in pursuit. Oh, shoot. Oh, bad ending. I bet you, we're gonna have to do something to make it so that he doesn't end up at the cafe. You started to know how this is gonna go. But yet you still make wrong decisions. You know what I mean? I like this game. This game is a breath of fresh air versus playing the same stuff every year. As he sprinted madly along, Nagashita turned down a narrow alley. Minorikawa stayed close behind, desperate not to lose sight of him. His quarry began to weave his way through the back alleys of Shibuya. This guy clearly knew his way around town. By Miyashita Park, they zipped up into a pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck was this idiot going? Halfway across the overpass, Nagashita suddenly stopped. Confused, Minorikawa stopped as well. Give that back, he called. The next moment, Nagashita flashed a mocking grin and dangled the laptop over a railing. Uh-oh. Minorikawa lunged toward him, but it was already too late. The laptop left Nagashita's hand and went spinning down through the air. Then, as the two men struggled, Nagashita toppled over the railing. Oh man, without hesitating, Minorikawa jumped down as well. Whoa! What? Ooh. Minorikawa landed hard. As he struggled to regain his breath, he looked around and saw Nagashita beside him. Incredibly, the laptop was safe in Charlatan's grasp. Ooh, he landed face first. Apparently, he'd somehow managed to catch it in midair. Before Minorikawa could be too relieved, however, Nagashita got to his feet and took off running again. After landing on his face? Get back here, you little weasel. I don't think so. This Nagashita guy was infuriating. That, and he was really fast. Minorikawa considered himself a decent runner, but he couldn't manage to gain on Nagashita. If running away was a competitive sport, the guy would be a world-class superstar. As he ran along, a particular thought occurred to him. Hold on a minute. If he hates my copy that much, shouldn't he have wanted my computer to break? Why'd he go out of his way to catch it like that? It made no sense at all. Hey, Minokawa, shouted between gasping breaths. What do you plan to do with my laptop? Nagashita glanced back at him. Gonna sell it. Sorry about this. What? Minokawa was taken back. Consider it compensation for defamation of character. Come on, get real. It can't be defamation if the article hasn't run yet. Then consider it an advance on compensation. This was so nonsensical it made Minokawa's head hurt. But now at least he knew why Nagashita had dived after the computer. The thief continued to weave his way through the side streets. His speed didn't diminish in the slightest. Damn it, this guy has too much experience running away. Minokawa's stamina began to fade and finally he lost sight of his quarry. That didn't mean he was ready to give up his search. There were articles on that computer that were right on the verge of completion. Whatever it took, he had to get it back. Nagashita had said he was going to sell it. Where could he be headed in? Probably he was headed to the sales demo venue? No. Probably he was headed to a knick-knack shop. Probably was headed to Indo Electronics. It's one of these two. See, he's familiar with the knick-knack shop. It's not the sales demo, it's B or C. I don't remember. God, I can't remember that far back. I don't remember him crossing paths with at the knick-knack shop, but I remember. I mean, yes, at the knick-knack shop, but I don't remember him crossing paths at Indo Electronics. All right, we're gonna go with knick-knack shop. Probably he was headed to the knick-knack shop. Minokawa recalled seeing one near the Burning Hammer demo site. He also recalled seeing a poster outside the place that read, "We buy computers at top price." Yep. Darn, guy had led him on a wild goose chase. That shop was surely where he was going to sell the laptop. Gulping a deep breath, he headed in that direction. There you are, Nagashita. Minokawa burst in the shop on center guy, an accusing finger pointing squarely at the thief. Listen, there's no way I'm buying a computer that doesn't have a power cable. Details. All you sell here is junk anyway. Nagashita and shopkeeper had gotten into an argument. Minokawa recognized the shopkeeper. It was the guy he'd run into on the roadside earlier. That computer belongs to me, Minokawa shouted as he marched up to them. Give it back. Nagashita clutched the laptop to his chest. Nuh-uh, I need the money. Knock it off, you're acting like a child. Minokawa tried to slap him out of his tantrum, but Nagashita ducked to avoid the blow. Then, bizarrely, Nagashita froze. A fierce gleam came to his eyes. Ta-ta-ta. He broke into an incomprehensible stammer. That's it. Nagashita snatched up a flyer that his gaze had fixed on. Iron stomach, huh? This right here is my little bluebird of happiness, he cried. You know what? You can have this. Nagashita shoved the laptop into Minokawa's arms. Ha ha ha, and welcome to it. You idiot. I don't need no worthless computer. You're the idiot, Buster. Minokawa smacked Nagashita right across the face. Ouch. Hitting him felt good. He decided to do it again. Minokawa shoved Nagashita toward the shopkeeper. Hand this guy over to the police, he said. No, not the police, Nagashita pleaded. Can it, you thief? You tried to rip me off and you have no idea how much is riding on my work. You deserve 10,000 deaths. Honestly, you think that dying would be suspicious. A little too far. I'm sorry already. I give up. I was ready to surrender. The guy was ready to surrender. Minokawa let his guard down for just a moment. Like heck I am. Switching gears in an instant, Nagashita took off running at full speed. This again. Get back here, you bastard. Minokawa was already in pursuit. Oh, I thought it was going to lead us to a bad ending. He stuck with Nagashita as far as Koendori before losing track of him. The guy sure knew how to make a getaway. Breathing hard, Minokawa stopped and took a look around the area. As he did, he heard the cell phone ringtone from somewhere nearby. It was the new single from the pop single Ayakamiki. Could that be Nagashita's phone? No, that's Kano's. Huh? Could be. Somehow he struck Minokawa as the type of guy who'd have a ringtone like that. Seemed worth looking into anyhow. He had nothing else to go on. Minokawa shifted his gaze around, trying to locate the source of the sound. Either was it Kano or Sao? Oh! What the heck? Oh, suddenly a massive fiery blast knocked him from his feet. By the time he realized it was an explosion, his senses were already shattered. What just happened? He couldn't see, he couldn't hear, he couldn't move his body. Where am I? For a while, all he could feel was an intense pain, and soon even that faded away. And then, there was only darkness. Bad ending. An unexpected explosion. Chasing Nagashita, what'd I say? Chasing Nagashita led Minokawa to the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. This wouldn't have happened if Nagashita hadn't run when he did. If the MMA fighter Miki Moritu comes into the knick-knack shop, she'll interrupt their argument and things might turn out differently. So, okay, we're supposed to run into Nagashita, but she's supposed to, wow, she's coming back into the picture. She's supposed to get to the knick-knack shop. Gotcha. So we'll leave it alone. We'll leave the storyline alone. So somebody else's story has to change. So we made the right choices. Somebody else's story has to change, and this is gonna get erased. All right, so ahead again, Aichi saw that they were bearing down on a young grade school girl. Her head hung in dismay. Aichi barely caught the girl up in his arms, took a quick leap to one side. Side. He managed to avoid crashing into her by taking a tumble himself. The girl was still definitely a bit shocked. Sorry about that, Aichi said. Are you alright? The girl didn't answer or even meet Aichi's eyes. She just looked around as if in a daze. Was she waiting on someone, maybe? Odd kid, Aichi thought. I hope she's okay. Once more, Aichi and Hitomi set off running. Aichi led Hitomi to an old multi-tenant building. They hurried inside and headed up the stairs. Behind the reception window on the second floor sat the custodian, sleeping on the job. Yukinori Katajima. His main job is overseeing the monitoring room for the local surveillance cameras. But on the side, he also works as a novelist and game scenario writer. He often sleeps on the job during his free time, but sometime while he's asleep, he gets his writing done. Just recently, a certain game was released set in Shibuya, but since he wrote the scenario and emailed it to the game company while he was asleep, he didn't know about it until just the other day. I wonder, is this the game we're playing? Hey, wake up, man. Aichi gave a window a tap and then the man woke with a start. Huh? Aichi. Aichi-chi. Don't scare me like that. That's one chi. Too many. And wow, you sure seem to have a lot of free time on your hands. Yeah, no one's been by to check today. But that's not so bad, right? I mean, I guess it's a surveillance room, but still. The man let out a big yawn. My dad asked me to come down here and check on the security monitors, actually, Aichi said. Sorry to bother you when you're busy, Hitomi added with a polite bow. Huh? Who are you? You with Aichi-chi? I'm Hitomi Osawa. It's nice to meet you. Oh ho. Oh ho ho. What are you Aichi's girlfriend? Again, too many cheese there, and that's none of your business. Just let me have the key. Hoping his blush wasn't too obvious, Aichi mimed, unlocking the door. Mimed. You won't answer a simple question, and you want me to hand over the key? Ha! Yes, I'm his girlfriend, Hitomi said. We've just started dating. So I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you, sir. She flashed a winning smile. Oh well, what a surprise. Never thought Aichi could land a fine lady like yourself. The surprised custodian held out the key. Good for you, Aichi. Still one chi too many there, but yeah, dating. Aichi gazed into Hitomi's face, even more surprised than the custodian. The key dangled, swinging to and fro like a pendulum between Aichi and the man behind the counter. Aichi, Hitomi said, nudging him in the side with her elbow. Come on. Oh, right. Snapping out of it, Aichi took the key and headed up to the next floor. I'm sorry, Hitomi said as they entered the monitoring room, but just saying we were dating like that, I mean. It was a pretty clumsy lie. No, it was just kind of sudden, is all. I was just a bit jittery, I guess. Archie felt his cheeks color again. I mean, I figured I had to say something or he wasn't going to cooperate, Hitomi said. She looked a little embarrassed herself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make things weird. No. Aichi said, nah, it wasn't weird at all. Actually, it was kinda... He stopped himself. Now wasn't the time for that sort of conversation. They needed to find the blue minivan. The surveillance camera monitoring room was really just a big office with a single computer. Aichi knew it well. This is the monitoring system, he explained. He switched on the computer. You see all of downtown Shibuya from this one computer. Hitomi gazed impatiently at the monitor, even though it wasn't showing anything yet. The look of sheer determination on her face held Aichi enthralled. Talk about how attractive your sister is, Aichi murmured. As far as I'm concerned, right now you're the lovely one, Hitomi. Hitomi looked at him, uncertain. I mean, look at the lengths you're going to and the risk you're taking to save your sister, Aichi said. I can't bear the thought that something might happen to her, and the last time we were together, I said such horrible things. Plenty of people do bad things without even realizing they're bad. Never mind trying to fix it. I'm just doing what I think is right. Yeah, but these days, most people don't do the right thing. Heck, if they did, Shibuya wouldn't be covered in trash like this. Me? I appreciate it when someone really cares about the things that are important. Doing the right thing as a matter of course, that's very attractive. Aichi blushed as he said it and Hitomi shyly looked away. I think the system is ready. Turning to the computer, Aichi hastily changed the subject. This thing's so simple, even I know how to use it. Clicking on the mouse, he brought up a row 4 of windows on the monitor. Each window showed a different view of the Shibuya cityscape. The image quality is not great, but that's because being updated on 2-second delay, I guess. Aichi tapped on the keyboard, bringing up shots of different locations. He clicked on one of them in order to enlarge the image. Maybe we really can find that minivan with this. It told me practically glued to the screen. My dad's the one who designed the security system. Your dad must be pretty amazing. Well, he graduated top of his class at Tokyo Denko University. This is a prestigious national university founded over a century ago. Applicants who place highly on the entrance exam can receive a full scholarship. Aichi's father was one such attendee. He always said he could have had a career in computer engineering, but he took over the electronics shop so that he could marry my mother instead. That's such a sweet story. Do they run the store together then? Archie shook his head. No. My mother died when I was 4. Oh, I'm sorry. It told me sound even sadder than Aichi. Well, anyway, never mind that. Here, look. Oh my. The seedy looking weirdo they run into at the Giga was on the screen. Huh? That guy again. Was running all out, a laptop computer in his one arm. He was being chased by a man in a long coat. That guy sure gets chased around a lot, huh? Aichi said. When the weirdo slipped out of view, Aichi switched to another camera. The new view showed the weirdo running again. By hopping from camera to camera, they could track wherever he went. So long as we have these cameras, Aichi said, this guy has nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, huh? The moment he said those words, they struck an odd chord in his mind. He remembered their repeated run-ins with the man with the cane, how the assassin had seemed always to know where they were. Aichi, please, Hitomi urged. Stop messing around and let's look for the minivan. Sorry, there's just something I'm curious about. Aichi continued to track the seedy-looking man. Right, my bad. Aichi switched over to a different camera. Ah, right. My bad. I just switched over to a different camera. Continued switching views, scanning the streets of Shibuya. But there was no sign of the minivan anywhere. Still, they remained glued to the monitor. Oh, that's me. Hitomi took out her cell phone. Oh, that's her ringtone. That's right. I said earlier that was that what's her name? Thought it was Osawa Kano. Email from Mr. Tanaka. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was about time for my mood to take a dip, Aichi thought. What? Hitomi blurted. She looked up from her phone. Aichi, Mr. Tanaka found the minivan. Hey, what? What does he say? Read it to me. Okay. I ran after it a bit, but wound up losing sight of it. I was heading toward Jinan. That's what he says. What about your sister? Was she inside? He doesn't say. Aichi switched over to an array of surveillance cameras in Jinan. A few seconds, the transition took astonishingly slow. Finally, 4 new images popped up. I can quickly enlarge one of them. Ah! It told me let out a tiny gasp. There on the monitor was the blue minivan. There was no doubt about it. Aichi and Tomi rushed from the building, speeding toward Jinan in an all-out run. Run, Aichi, run, Tomi, run! The other guy who's looking for Miku. Okay, we got multiple jumps now. They simply dashed along in silence. Aichi felt as if they had been running a marathon. The finish line had finally come into view. He hooked it left, station, and darted past. There it is. Ah! Aichi pointed as he came to a stop. The blue minivan was still there, parked by a curb along the slight hilly incline. Leaving Aichi behind, Hitomi started rushing up the hill. Alarm bells started going off in Aichi's mind. Someone from the kidnapping crew was in that van. It was dangerous to approach carelessly. Stay back, don't get too close. They told me, wait. Aichi shouted, but she didn't appear to hear his cries. The hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. Aichi started to run after. Hitomi had reached the vehicle already. She was parked with her face close to one of the windows. But the tinted glass obscured the view inside. Yep. Hitomi circled around the van on the other side. Aichi saw her grasping at the door. She slipped out of his view for just a moment. Oh my. There was a thunderous explosion and a gout of flame tore the roof off the minivan like it was made of aluminum foil. Hitomi! Horrified, Aichi charged through the rolling smoke searching for Hitomi. He saw two figures sprawled on the street several meters from the van. Hitomi and Kanan. Hitomi, wake up! Aichi cradled her in his arms and her eyes drifted open faintly. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Hitomi didn't appear to understand him. Her only response was a blank, dazed look. There was a small patch of red on her face. Aichi wiped it gently away with his finger. He saw no further signs of bleeding. It must have been splattered by someone else's blood then. As far as he could tell, she hadn't been gravely injured. Aichi let out a sigh of relief. Hitomi, is she alright? Kanan stirred on the ground. Her clothes were scorched in places, and she was bleeding from her head. Kanan, did you save her? Is she alright? Yeah. What about her sister? Kanan didn't respond. No, it can't be. Aichi went to look inside the van. Can't see. Amidst the smoke and flames, you could make out the outline of a body. What happened here? Aichi had to look away. Get Hitomi out of here. Hurry. If those guys show back up, Kanan's face twisted up with pain. All right. Aichi settled Hitomi carefully in his arms. Wait, I need to tell you something. Kanan's pain and gas called him back. Alphard. Huh? Alphard. That's the name of the mastermind. I'm sure it'll come up again if you keep pursuing this. But if you value your life, don't get involved with Alphard any further. Now go. Okay, thanks. With Hitomi in his arms, Aichi hurried from the scene. Hurried. He wasn't sure where he was heading. He just wanted to get away wherever that meant. He carried her past the crowd of onlookers that had swiftly begun to assemble. The flames of the burning van rose ever higher, roaring up toward the heavens. To be continued. So we got quite a few jumps in there we're probably gonna have to come back to. But we've done this whole thing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name is Raven from the Sky. If you enjoyed the episode, drop a like and subscribe to help the channel and the series grow. Be sure to ring that bell so you don't miss an upload. I'm out of here. Peace.